get ready for some fun, quick, easy, and absolutely gorgeous ideas to use those Valentine's Day heart wreaths from the Dollar Tree. They'll give you that high-end farmhouse look you're looking for, but for a cost that anyone can afford. And as always, DIY treats. Welcome to my channel, Craft, Eat, Repeat. Hi guys, it's Aneka and welcome to my channel, Craft, Eat, Repeat. So today's video is one that I'm really excited about because I got a lot of questions from you guys saying, I got this Dollar Tree wreath, this heart wreath for Valentine's Day, and I have no idea what to do with it. Give me some ideas for Dollar Tree hearts for Valentine's Day. So that's exactly what I have for you today. Now, I think these came out super cute. They would fit right in with like a farmhouse or a modern farmhouse type of decor. So I really hope you like them. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. Everyone, hit that notification bell so you'll be ready when my next video comes out. And when it's over, everyone head down to the comments and let me know which DIY was your favorite, or of course, you can always just say hi. Also, don't forget to find me on my social media platforms. Let me see what you're doing, what you're working on. I'm kind of interested to see what everyone's doing for Valentine's Day because I'm not a person who like goes all out for Valentine's Day, but I love to see little touches of like thoughts of love and flowers and things around my home. So I really want to see what you guys are working on for inspiration. Okay, guys, it's time to craft. So for the first DIY, we're going to start out with this heart wreath and some of the nautical rope. I thought this would look really cute with the white, but I also really like that brown color, so I decided to go with the brown. At first I tried just wrapping the rope around the wreath form, but it was just too thick and it was really hard to keep it on there, and it was just looking a little bulkier and a little less delicate than I wanted. So I decided to go ahead and unwrap the ropes. This is a 3-strand twist, so when you unravel it, you'll get 3 separate pieces of rope that you can use to decorate your wreath form. Now the neat thing about this is because it was twisted, you get this really neat kind of wavy crimpy pattern that really reminds me of wicker furniture, and I thought it really added a sweet touch to this wreath. Now in order to start attaching our pieces of rope, I just started right at the middle, and I'm just going to add a little dab of hot glue on any piece of metal that it crosses. Now you don't have to do this with every piece every step of the way, but it does help to get a nice solid firm foundation for your rope to start on so that it doesn't shift around on the wreath form. Now, because this has a lot of curves, you're gonna have to kind of do a little bit of trial and error to make sure that you have enough space to continue wrapping your rope all around the wreath form. This means that you're going to have to put it a little closer together on the inside of a curve and use a little dab of hot glue to make sure it's spread out just slightly on the outside curves. Now I did probably about 1/2 centimeter in between the rope on the outside curves, and I squeezed it together on the inside curves, and I'll show you what I mean a little bit later on. But by doing this, I made sure that I could get my rope all the way around the wreath form with all of the rope fitting into the curves of the heart. Anytime a piece of my rope ended, I just used a little dab of hot glue to secure it to the inside of the wreath form, and then I continued with the next piece. Now, here's what I meant by spreading it out when you get to the curve. You'll need to do this on the bottom angle of the heart as well as the 2 curves on the top of the heart. Now, I'm squeezing as hard as I can on that inside portion of the wreath form so that my rope can be as close as possible without overlapping because I didn't want to create any extra bulkiness. And then on that outside bar of the wreath form, I just put a little dab of hot glue and then put my rope right on top of it so that it would stay slightly more separated. I'm also going to have to do a bit of a crisscross pattern on that bottom portion to get the entire thing covered and have it really look pretty without getting too much bulkiness on that inside portion of the wreath form. And then I'm just going to continue the rest of the way up the wreath form until I've covered the entire thing. Now, as someone who loves twine and natural fibers, this looks just so beautiful to me. I love how this looked, but I wanted to add just a little bit of glam bling to it just for Valentine's Day. So I added a few flowers to the sides. And then I also used some of these faux pearls that I got from Dollar Tree to decorate the rest of the wreath. Now, if you really love flowers, you could actually put them all the way up the side of the wreath. And I think that would be really gorgeous too, to have one side be mostly flowers and the other side be mostly the nautical rope. But I just really love how this came out. And honestly, I feel like I could leave this out all year long because it's not too over the top, but definitely has that beautiful rustic farmhouse feel with a little romantic touch for Valentine's Day. So for our next Dollar Tree DIY for Farmhouse Valentines decor, we're going to be using this heart wreath, also from Dollar Tree. I'm going to remove this arrow, and this has clips on it, you guys, so slip the clips out. If you pull it too hard, you'll actually break the wreath form. I learned that the hard way, so be gentle as you do it. But we're also going to remove all of this red decoration on it. And once we've got that done, we'll have an empty wreath form with these little prongs on it that was used to keep the red, what do you call this stuff? Tencel? To keep the tencel on there. So we're going to need to remove that, and I found the easiest way to be using my X-Acto knife to just pop them right off. I did try one time using scissors, and I can firmly recommend against that. I broke an entire wreath form doing that, so I think an X-Acto knife is the way to go on this. That way you don't put too much stress on the curved parts of the heart. I'm also going to remove this little part that's at the top that was used to hang it. And there's one little piece at the bottom that was also used to hold the tinsel on that you will need to remove as well. Once I've got all that off, I'm going to actually cut my heart in half because this is going to make it a lot easier for me to put my faux wood beads onto my wreath form. Now, in order to make these faux wood beads, I'm going to be using these ping pong balls that I got from Dollar Tree. And with my hot glue gun on the high setting, I'm just going to burn a hole right into the ping pong ball. Now, this does have a seam in it, so I made sure to put my hole right along the seam in the ball. That way it wouldn't show up going the wrong direction once I painted it. So I did this on both sides of the ball, and I made sure that my hole was large enough to be able to feed it through onto my wreath form. I found that if I was able to put an ink pen through it, then it was large enough to get onto this wreath form. Of course, if you're using something else like a hanger, you'll need a smaller hole, so you'll just have to feel that one out. Once I had enough, I started to string my ping pong balls onto my wreath form. Now, I ended up using 6 packages, but that's because one ball in each package actually has some lettering on it, and I did not use that ball. If you want to use that ball and you're going to paint it a more solid color, you'll probably only need 5 packages of these ping pong balls. You can also get some at Walmart. I've seen them there for a really affordable cost, and sometimes they have larger packages, so you may want to check. That may be a more affordable way to go on this DIY. Now, I'm going to need 2 balls where the holes are only about an inch apart, and these are going to be for the bottom point of our heart and the top inside point of our heart. Once I have completely filled one side of my wreath form and the other side, I left about 3 or 4 inches open because I wanted to add flowers. If you want to cover the entire thing in your faux beads, then you'll need to fill up the other side of your heart as well. Then I took my 2 pieces that had the holes about an inch apart, and I assembled my entire heart, just putting some hot glue in there and making sure to glue it very, very well on those 2 portions, and that was able to hold my heart together. And now it's time to make our ping pong balls look more like wood, and I'm going to be using this Waverly wax in the color of antique. Now I've seen these beads done in a lighter brown color to make them look more like a lighter wood, but I really liked this darker color, so I'm going to go for this. So starting at the top of the bead and stroking in one direction, I'm going to color my entire bead with this brown antiquing wax. Now this is a bit messy, just expect your fingers to get painted on, and that is okay. Any of the little imperfections where you can't get an entire stroke is perfect because it ends up looking like a knot in the wood. So we're just going to go around our entire bead, painting in one direction to get that faux wood look. Now the white that's showing through from the ping pong ball is actually what gives it kind of like that wood grain texture. So depending on how much of that or how little you want, you may want to do 1 or 2 coats of this. I just did 1 coat on mine, and that was enough to give me the look that I was looking for. Now this will dry to the touch in about an hour, but I would recommend waiting 24 hours before handling them a lot to make sure that your wax will not come off when you move it around. Now to add a little romantic Valentine's Day touch, I'm just going to be adding some faux flowers into that open portion that I left in my wreath form. I like to use these flowers over and over, so I didn't want to attach them permanently. Instead, I'm just using hot glue that I know I can pop these off when I want to, and filling up that space. Then I wanted to add some greenery, so I just put some of that in there as well. And that was it. This was a really easy DIY to do, and I absolutely love how it came out. It's got that farmhouse feel, but with a nice romantic touch. Next DIY is so simple but super meaningful if you have a wine lover in your life. Collect all the extra corks you have laying around the house, or special ones from any wineries or special events that they had in their life, and you're just going to take this Dollar Tree heart wreath form and line the inside of it with the corks. I'm really just using this in order to make the shape of a heart, because I think if I tried to do it freehand, it would not look all that great. So I'm just going to line up my corks, making sure that I can fit them nicely and that I don't need to switch them out for any smaller ones. And once that's done, I'm just going to use my hot glue gun to glue them together. Now, if you're just going to use this for decor in your house and it's gonna kind of be a one-time thing, hot glue is enough. You're just going to have to use a lot of it in between, and then you're going to have to reinforce again to make sure that it stays together. However, if you want this to last from year to year, if you're using special corks that you're going to want to hold on to, I would recommend using another type of adhesive like Gorilla Glue or E6000. I'm not sure if wood glue would work. If anyone knows, let me know down in the comments if wood glue would be a good option for this. But the hot glue does work in a pinch, but it's not as permanent if you want to hold on to some special corks. So I'm just going to go around, and as you can see here, it's a little bit flimsy from the hot glue. So I just went back and I reinforced the inside and right along the outside to make sure that it stayed together in the shape of a heart. And that's it. I think this is adorable for your Valentine. If you want to put out their favorite bottle of wine, maybe a sweet little message, this would be a really fun thing to find on Valentine's Day on my counter. I would like it at least, so I hope you guys like it too. So this is like a 2-for-1, because now we're going to use that same wreath form to make this beautiful wreath with some flowers. So I'm just using these faux flowers that I got from Dollar Tree, and I wanted to do kind of like a 3-toned ombre effect. I needed 2 packages of each flowers, and I ended up having to fill in some of the spots with some leaves. So if you really want it to be really full, I would probably get 3 packs of at least one of the colors, so then you can pack them really tight together. But I'm just going to use some hot glue and attach these to the wreath form. There's really no rhyme or reason to this. I'm just going ahead and gluing them as I go. And I'm going to fade from dark to light. And I think this ends up making a beautiful ombre effect with these really romantic flowers. Next, I'm using a few of these faux eucalyptus leaves, also from Dollar Tree, to fill in any gaps, but also to add a little pop of green. I like that little color of nature in my wreath. And that's it. This was so easy to put together, and I think it's just the most romantic thing that I have for Valentine's Day. Okay, all of those were so easy and so fun to make, but my favorite, of course, has to be that faux wood bead wreath. Those beads are so expensive online and in the store, so I was really excited that it turned out really nice making this faux version from Dollar Tree items so that I could continue my love of wood beads. But head down to the comments and let me know which one was your favorite. So for today's treat, I have a little bit of a Pinterest experiment actually. I've made this treat using saltine crackers, I've made it using graham crackers, but when I saw this recipe using vanilla wafers, I knew that I had to try it. I mean, not for me, but in the interest of science, of course, right? I had to see which one tasted the best so that I could tell you guys. So I decided to give this Pinterest-inspired treat a try, so it's time to eat. So I'm just going to start with a box of vanilla wafers, and I'm just going to spread those onto my baking sheet that's been lined with parchment paper. And after finishing this DIY treat, I actually decided I would like more cookies than how it ended up. So at this point, I would probably add 2 layers, but you definitely don't have to do that. That's just my taste. Next, I'm going to melt some butter and some brown sugar together. I'm going to bring it to a boil, and I'm going to gently boil it until it turns into a nice, beautiful brown caramel. Next, I'm going to carefully pour that on top of my cookies. Be careful, guys, this is very hot. I also noticed that the cookies did kind of spread out a bit and floated around in the caramel, so I would recommend filling up whatever baking sheet you use so that you get maximum cookie coverage under your caramel. Once you've got it spread as much as you want, I'm going to take this and put it in the oven for about 6 minutes. While that's in the oven, I'm going to get some chocolate and also some sprinkles. I did have a few to choose from, but the little bosses in my house told me that we were going with the pink and gold sprinkles, and so that's what I ended up using. Now I'm going to take my cookies and my caramel out of the oven, and this is just a little trick that I learned for these treats. The recipe actually says to melt the chocolate and then to spread it on top of the caramel. I typically just sprinkle my chocolate on top of the hot caramel, and if I need to, I'll pop it back into a slightly warmed oven that I've turned off from baking the caramel for about 30 seconds. And that melts the chocolate just enough for me to be able to go ahead and spread it all over my cookie and caramel mixture. Now, as a mom of a bunch of toddlers, any dirty dish that I can save from having to wash later is a win for me. So I like doing it this way because then I don't need to wash another pot. I'm just going to spread that all over my now hardening caramel, and I'm going to sprinkle my sprinkles on there before the chocolate hardens. Now you can leave this out on the counter if you'd like, or you can pop it in the refrigerator. Once it's hardened, you're going to go ahead and break it up into pieces. And you guys, this was truly delicious. I really loved it. So I'm counting this as a Pinterest win, with the asterisk that my favorite combination remains the graham cracker and dark chocolate combination. And if I make this again, I will up the cookie to caramel ratio, but still, it was really good. I hope you enjoyed the DIYs that I had for you today. If you liked it, please head down to the comments and let me know which one was your favorite. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends, and I'll see you next time when we repeat it all again.